One of the unusual things about John Jay is, as a television program, has driven a lot of attendance. The CBS series on forensic science has really created positive visibility. And
some of their programs are filmed here, so we have that sort of relationship with them. Someday I'd love to say thank you to all those shows in person because they are big attractors and magnets here.
Right.
But what they're really doing is they're igniting the imagination. And connecting with a sense of excitement and potential that a young person has. And we're the lucky beneficiaries of that. And we say you can come here and you can work through those issues, either in literature or in a science lab or in a criminal justice class.
You know, one of the things that I've been impressed with about John Jay is how well you execute. A lot of people have ideas, but they don't execute very well. And I think one of the outstanding programs you have are the Justice Awards that you have every year. How did that come about?
Every year now we recognize 3 people typically who are fierce advocates for justice. We get the John Jay Medal. We always recognize somebody who does work internationally, somebody who works at the national level, and an unsung hero who does community level work. And what that series has done has been to, in a very public way, in an unexpected sort of way, connect John Jay to the notion of justice. And the ceremony itself presents opportunities for reflection. It involves music, it involves poetry. We show films about the lives and the accomplishments of our honorees who are heroes. And people always leave inspired. But they also leave saying, whoa, that was an interesting thing that happened at John Jay College. And on some level, we have strengthened that connection between this institution and the pursuit of justice. For example, when Secretary Clinton was here, and I introduced her before a speech on foreign policy, I was able to say, without being for a minute artificial, we welcome you because you, like we, are a fierce advocate for justice.
Being a community college, not having dorms and not having a student life, and when I first came here, the students left. Now with the new building and with the Jaywalk, are they staying around longer and participating more?
When we opened our new building, which is about a year ago, soon after it opened, somebody came up to me and said, something's happened, this is so exciting. I said, what's going on? And this person said, well, we've doubled the number of people who are logged onto our wireless network in the space of a couple of weeks. So what that said to me is the new building is providing a place, a safe place, a welcoming place, where students will hang out. And what do they do these days? They're on their laptop. So instead of going home, instead of going to Starbucks, instead of going to a friend's house, they're feeling more comfortable staying here. An elegant phrase that's used in this line of work is stickiness, that the institution has to become sticky, that students have to feel they want to be here. And that's a challenge for a commuter institution. Our building helps a lot. We've created a community hour where there are no classes, so students can have their club meetings here. We're having more events in the evening. We're doing more fun things here. We're going to have movies on the Jaywalk in the spring. So we want to be a stickier, engaging institution so that students feel that if they're here making the connections here with faculty, here with the fellow students, here with the staff, here with the sports teams, then this is where they're growing up. And we want them to have that growing up experience surrounded by what we can offer.
With the economics that you face today as a public institution, I thought it was interesting that you have to raise funds now. You're part of the City University of New York, but you have to go out and raise funds. How long has outside fundraising been part of the institution, and how successful has it been?
Fundraising at John Jay is very recent, and basically since I arrived a few years ago. Not to say we raised no money, but it's now a serious enterprise. Fundraising within the university is going great guns under Matt Goldstein. 6 or 7 years ago, he established a campaign goal for the entire university of $2 billion.
Wow.
And it's now at 2.3. He's already raised, and it's all of us who are doing this work. At John Jay, we've established a campaign goal of $50 million, which we announced a year ago after a quiet phase of 4 years, and we've now raised almost 43. My view is, when I speak to somebody, I say, where's your dollar going to get more value? Giving a dollar to Brown, Amherst, some other public institution, or giving a dollar to John Jay? Our tuition is $5,000 a year. So somebody could easily support, a student for $5,000 and get and have that student who would otherwise be working at Starbucks be able to devote full time to her studies.
What messages have resonated with the people who have begun to contribute, because that's a lot of money to raise in a short period of time. but what do you attribute your success to?
There are 1 million CUNY graduates in New York. That intellectual capital walks into the room at a John Jay classroom every day. If we don't invest in them, we're shortchanging our future. So people who have been successful in New York, many of them themselves CUNY grads or their parents were CUNY grads, really understand that we need to invest in that next generation. These are our seed corn, and we need to understand how to develop them and move them along so that they can keep the city as vibrant as it is today.